All right, well, I've got 6:30, so we'll go ahead and call this meeting to order. This is the November 13th, 2023 meeting of the Merrimack Conservation Commission. Tom, will you sit in as a voting member for Eric? Thank you. We have no public hearing scheduled.
Just down here.
No public hearing scheduled. And if there's no objection, I think we'll just go ahead and we'll move this volunteer for the Horse Hills Nature Preserve Subcommittee, Kimberly Berger. I left an hour off. That's my fault, not Stephanie's. We'll move her to the top of the agenda here so that she doesn't have to sit through the other items.
And
Ellen,
if I
you
may,
wanna-
I'll go out there and sit by her. And
Oh, that would
speak
be
to
wonderful.
you.
You've got this agenda item from here?
Asks anything? There we go. Berger, okay. Members of the commission, I'd like to introduce you to Kimberly Berger, who is requesting confirmation as a member of the Horse Hill Subcommittee. She sent us a letter of inquiry last month. Mark, the chairman of the subcommittee, has met her. After reading her letter of interest, I asked her if we could, get out in Horse Hill and enjoy it together, and we did, and had a good conversation. And her letter of interest includes, having lived in Merrimack for 5 years now, I have a deep appreciation for our town's natural beauty and the importance of preserving it. One of the reasons I'm drawn to the Horse Hill Subcommittee is that she lives close to Horse Hill Preserve, which she has the pleasure of visiting weekly, which has allowed me to witness firsthand the beauty of the preserve and the importance to the community. So I would like to recommend that the commission support her membership on the subcommittee, and I'm sure she can answer any questions.
Yeah, well, tell us how long have you been in Merrimack?
So I've been in Merrimack for 5 years now.
Okay.
And I live, basically it's my backyard. So I live right by the Watonic Bowman entrance down into the preserve. So I'm down there almost every day with my dogs or going for a run or go mountain biking through there.
Oh, wow.
So I've gotten to know some of the Watonic Bowmen and also people on the subcommittee that pass through. I've just, chit-chatted, gotten to know them. So yeah, it's somewhere I frequent, and I'm always, as I'm going through, I'm like, oh, look at this bridge, or oh, that sign needs to be fixed, or, I just notice little things, and, I'm like, oh, man. So I'd like to be a part of, preserving that and keeping up with it.
What kind of dog do you have?
I have 3. So I have a Great Dane, a Beagle mix, and some sort of terrier mix. They're all rescues.
Thank you. We appreciate,
pleasure.
we appreciate volunteers and people expressing interest in what we're doing, and welcome to be one of us.
Looking forward to
And
it.
I trust she mentioned she's been introduced to Mark. And how many? How strong is that subcommittee now?
We have 4 members who are able to make it to every meeting, and a couple of others who would like to continue their membership, and attendance is not always possible. But we
Yeah.
are thrilled to have
Yeah,
someone who's
this is
familiar with the
delightful.
property willing to serve on the subcommittee.
Do we know in terms of making a motion? What are the term lengths? What?
Oh, I believe this is subject to correction after Stephanie looks at the minutes, but I think your term would conclude in June 30th, 2025.
Okay.
You can keep going. I can say with confidence, I don't think we're ever going to impose a term limit on a subcommittee member.
And if there's if there's a correction to that, I'll do it when we review the minutes for this meeting.
So I think Ellen has moved.
I move that we accept Kim Berger as a member of the Horse Hill Subcommittee.
Okay, I second the motion. All those in favor? Motion carries 6-2-0. Well, thank you very much for your interest. Thank you for reaching out. And thank you for coming here tonight. Yeah. Thanks.
Thank you again.
So 1, 2, 3, 6. just checking my math here. So Eric's missing. Normally, normally would ask Danielle to serve as a voting member, but since Andy's the one absent, we can't substitute for the elected official. That's because he's a counselor.
Yeah, you can't. Because he's got it.
He has a different role, and he's appointed by the council. All right, so let's go back up. We moved that agenda item to first, just so we could release her before the rest of the items.
The motion was made for Kim by,
By me and no, by you, and seconded by me.
thank you. Carry on.
All right. Well, Ellen, maybe you can help me in explaining this. We've had one of these recently. Ellen knows more about this than any of us.
How scary is that?
Because you're a member of this.
Oh, I'm a member of the Merrimack,
Or
the Lower Merrimack.
The Lower
River
Merrimack.
Advisory Committee. I can tell you a little bit about
But this
that.
one's very similar, right?
Yes, the Sauhegan River Local Advisory Committee is a body that serves under the State Department of Environmental Services. It is, its job is to look at a lot of things that we do, actually. In fact, the Merrimack Advisory Committee met last week and looked at the coal refining plan that we had reviewed just a couple of weeks ago. The meetings are, I know for the Merrimack Committee, it's about quarterly or whenever there is a site plan that needs to be reviewed. We do not have yes or no authority over projects, but what we do is review them with the engineer representing the developer, and any questions we have or comments we put in writing and send to the Department of Environmental Services. And for some projects, remarks from the local advisory committee are required as part of the approval process, even though the committee itself doesn't have authority to okay a project. And here is an opening on the Sauhegan River Local Advisory Committee. You can see from what this says, we're looking for members who have a broad range of interests, including government, business, conservation interests, and so forth. The Nashua Regional Planning Commission is what will take the applications from the town. So anyone who's interested will be sending a letter of interest to the town of Merrimack. I think it'll wind up at the town manager's office. And then the town council will make a recommendation to NRPC, which will then name the person. The object is to have someone from each town along the river's corridor as a member, so that every town is represented.
You're a member now?
I'm a member of the Lower Merrimack one,
Oh.
Which is similar but not the
So
same
it doesn't
committee.
count.
What? I'm not representing Merrimack.
Wait, and we have you and we have two Merrimack members on that one, right?
On Merrimack, yes, Nelson Disco,
Mhm.
about whom more later.
So I'm assuming that the difference is that this committee is responsible for the entire,
It is responsible for projects within a certain distance of the shore of the Sauhegan. It's the Sauhegan
Okay.
area.
and how does that distinguish, you're just, what goes on in Merrimack?
Actually, our interests are for the entire area, but as a voting member, on the Merrimack, on the Lower Merrimack Committee, I represent Merrimack.
Okay.
And there doesn't have to be a member from each town, but it is a good idea for at least one person from each town affected by the river to be on the committee.
And Lower Merrimack involves Merrimack,
Hudson,
Litchfield,
Nashua, yeah.
Hudson.
Is this something where it just has to be anyone from Merrimack?
Anyone from Merrimack can apply.
So are we hoping as a commission to promote this?
We are making
open?
it available to the public right now, or it's actually been publicly posted, but we are hoping
Okay.
to increase the circulation of this job, and anybody who's interested should contact the town manager's office.
It would be great if it was already if it was someone who was not part of us, or any of our subcommittees. It'd be great to get more volunteers into this than
I'll post,
ourselves.
I'll write a post for just
Excellent.
Probably-
just myself, write post so people know about it. Just
Would
make
probably
sure
be a
they
great
see it.
approach. Yeah, the town manager is the one that received this and sent this to us. It is posted on the town website, but he just, basically, I told him we would talk about it here because there may be someone on a
Can't sleep.
subcommittee or someone watching at home.
So in addition to the town website, would this be suitable for Merrimack Outdoors? And
It is a
for our
public
future
posting of a
Facebook?
public position, so I see,
Yeah.
that would be fine. Nothing confidential about this, just low profile, and we're trying to raise the profile a bit.
All right, and any other questions on that? No? All right, let's keep moving to the next agenda item. Funding for the 2004 NHACC, New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions, membership and dues in the amount of $1,050. Several of you were able to attend. Andrew went, Ellen went, Karis went. Did you, you were able to go too? Okay. We heard from the others. Which sessions did you go to?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Fundamentals were
Yeah, I
eight-
did fundamentals.
Oh, that's a good one.
And then another one, but then I had to leave, for
Yeah.
a family emergency, but it was pretty insightful.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Did you have a chance, any of you, to interact with some of the other conservation commissions?
Yes, that was the best part.
I thought so.
So at work, I do a wide variety of technical summits, which are sort of our version of this. And some of the best parts of that are the random people you bump into the hallway or at the lunch table who work somewhere else, and you get to find out what's going on there.
What conservation commissions? Name one to what?
We talked
collaborated.
to someone from Amherst, and I found someone from New Boston, and
Someplace
someone
near
from way
Salem.
up north somewhere.
What's the place near Salem?
Plastow,
Pelham?
Litchfield, Hudson, Plastow.
Maybe Plastow.
Wyndham?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Names.
Huh. Did any of them share any best practices or any lessons learned?
It mostly seemed to be, we have the same problem.
I thought they're very insightful. A lot of them sponsored, kids to go to local camps and stuff like that. They set up tables around the cafeteria and kind of promoted what they did within the community.
Yeah.
And I definitely didn't even know about the Conservation Commission before I did some research, but seeing how involved some of them are in the community is really
Yeah.
awesome.
What venues do they use to have that involvement? Just
It was
school
like the
workshops or?
local summer camps. So like,
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Like-
What's that? Monsoon Festival?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did that for a number of years, and
Did we?
the last couple of years, the last 10, 12 years, we just had no one applying for the
Yeah.
grant, so we're just gonna
Mm-hmm.
stop doing it.
Well, now with a Facebook page and we're gonna update the website, it seems
calling
like
us
this is
old.
They're
something.
gonna be
we can
banging down the
bring
door.
back.
I spent lunchtime talking to Kathleen Ports, who is the conservation planner in Bedford. They actually have a position for conservation. And we had a good conversation about some land that, of an old rail grade that runs through both Bedford and Merrimack. How Merrimack, some of it is already, it's town land, not the Conservation Commission's, but it's undeveloped and makes a nice trail. And we talked about the possibility and desirability of greenways connecting the town. So again, nothing decided, of course, but just getting
Yeah.
to know someone who works in an adjacent town on the same thing is a good idea.
Is this, I know there's an old rail grade at the far end of Woodward Road.
Yes,
I walk it a lot.
Yes.
I live right near there.
it's nice that it is what it is, a good forested area.
So does that go into Bedford also?
Oh, yes.
I know it goes into Amherst.
It's an old
on the
rail
other
line that
end.
extends from Bedford westward.
All right.
There used to be a station where the Stowell Road Bridge is. There's someone who has a lovely piece of property there. It used to be a station.
I've watched it get developed over the years. And there is an old river crossing.
Yes.
You can tell the two stone abutments.
The
are on the
abutments are in
bridge.
splendid shape.
They're
Yes.
beautiful. And I've considered whether I should try jumping across at some point, but decided not to.
I don't recommend it, but
Well, I'm glad
Just
you
let us
went.
know so we could be there with a camera.
Yeah.
Yes. The problem is a lot of that back area there is massively infested with ticks. I mean, just massively
Yes.
infested. So,
Well, what we have got to decide, I think we've talked a little bit about the benefit of our membership of this organization. I think the dues are the same as they are
They
last
are.
year.
I would like to move that we pay the dues, or that the town pay the dues to the New Hampshire Association of Conservation Commissions in the amount of $1,050 from Fund 53. I think that's what we
Quick
have.
question on
Is
the
it 53 or
53,
52?
which it's 53. One is specifically for dues. One has specifically has dues listed in it. It might be 50. I don't know. I don't
Okay.
remember. I have to look.
I have a
Can we,
question.
could we leave the motion as the appropriate fund?
Okay.
And trust the town?
Yes, I'd like to move
then we could do
that
that.
this be paid out of the appropriate fund for 1 year's membership for the Conservation Commission.
So are the membership dues per town or per person?
Per
and we-
town.
Per town, okay.
Is there a
I second.
second? Second, Andrew. Motion by Ellen. Do we want any further discussion? Good question. Yeah, it's per commission.
And I will say this much with some new members on the committee since last year. I have found the online, they have a lunch and learn, like their online 1-hour sessions, as well as the annual convention or conference, have given me a lot of background into things I didn't know before I joined the commission. So even though it's not stuff that goes, goes up in lights, it's extremely useful and it's available to anyone on the commission at no additional charge.
I think you should all be seeing those emails, right? Occasional emails from them in the town email account. All right, if there's no further discussion, all in favor? Motion carries 6-0. All right. Next one, the parking at BB Lane cul-de-sac. So I've received some feedback from the subcommittee. BB Lane, I don't know, Gage, if you had received the similar feedback. What they've had a meeting and what they're asking for is that we ask the town to put 2 parallel parking only signs. To me, when you go down to that cul-de-sac on BB Lane, it's I think most of us are probably familiar with it. It seems intuitive that you would only parallel park there.
It seems though. Yeah.
It seems
It doesn't happen.
Is
But it
this a
doesn't have-
request from the Greater Woods Subcommittee?
It is, yep. And I told him I would, and rather than just pass that along, I thought that was something we should probably talk about here. Make sure no one was opposed to that, and if that's the case, I'll ask the town. I think this is probably these are probably 2 signs they have in inventory, and there's not a funding associated with that.
Yeah, we found them. They're $20 on Amazon.
Oh,
So even if they don't have them, we're gonna ask that we can spend
We
the
could-
$40 and buy them ourselves.
okay.
So, just
The real question will be, can we put those signs up
Right.
down there?
Yep.
And that's, before I asked that question, I thought we should talk about it. We've had problems before where there was another parcel that had some parking.
because we have some folks local to the area right there that are on private property that are willing to put these on the edges of their property that are close enough to
Where it would be effective.
where it's close enough to the cul-de-sac
Okay.
that people would see that and not really know that if it was on
That's
their
probably
property.
a simpler approach.
But no, it would be great if it was the town could do it because if the town puts it up and then potentially it could be enforceable.
Mm-hmm.
So
What would be greater is if they could put lines, so
I was
like,
gonna suggest.
put lines that show.
yeah, I
you
mean,
know,
if we
park
could
this
if
way,
we
park-
if we could be allowed to paint, we figured we'd go down this path first before we
Yeah.
asked to
Yeah.
paint because now you get into who's going to keep it up.
Right.
So
I found that the problem occurs, this is the follow the leader kind of a thing. The first guy that shows up in the morning, if he parks parallel, everybody else will do the same thing, usually, and vice versa. So it's almost like if the first person knows how to do it, then pretty much everybody else is just gonna follow suit.
I was kind of surprised the other day. I was over there and people parked this way, and someone had just decided that there's not enough space for them to park, so they right in the center,
Yeah. Right the center.
right in the center. I'm like, wow, you're in it.
So are we looking?
Should we make a motion in case we need to purchase 2 signs?
Yeah.
That we-
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to.
I'll ask.
Yeah,
first.
ask first, and if we don't, then I'd like to have permission to go ahead and buy signs, and we'll deal with some of the locals and see if we can because we can put it up on our kiosk as long as we
Yeah.
don't have a problem with it.
Yeah,
And
I'll
So-
ask if the town could do it first,
Yep.
based on that feedback. So would someone like to make a motion
I
to
do know that
purchase those two
the,
signs?
the green steel posts to mount signs are available literally at Lowe's for about $8. So them and a sledgehammer and in they go.
Have a motion and in language for it, so I can,
did we have a motion? Anyone make a motion? No. I'd like to
I'm
make-
all set for somebody to
Okay,
make.
all right. I just don't want to stomp on someone's feet. I'd like to make a motion that we have Steve approach the town for the ordering and the installation of 2 parallel parking signs for BB Lane cul-de-sac. And if they decide that's not acceptable, then I'd like permission to spend not more than $60 to purchase 2 signs and posts for local installation.
Motion by Gage,
Seconded?
second by Karis. Do we need any further discussion?
I'm just curious,
Yeah.
should that be 2 motions?
I don't think so. I don't know.
If we need to
If
break
we
it
do
up,
it wrong,
we'll-
we'll get
Yeah.
corrected.
I'll
I
second,
think we're fine.
I'll second.
Karis already seconded.
Oh,
it,
okay.
yeah, no. We don't need further discussion. I'll get this email out tomorrow. Hopefully that will go down the path of least resistance, and the town will have someone be willing to put
We should
those up.
actually vote.
Yeah, we
first.
should have a
You're gonna
vote.
call for a vote?
That was part of the discussion.
Okay.
All those in favor? Motion carries 6-0.
And you will send email to town about that.
I will.
Thank you.
On it. We're flying through this tonight. This one might be more substantive. Kiosk maintenance and refresh. The genesis of this agenda item was from feedback from I forget which one of the subcommittees, that we're having a problem with dog droppings again, or pet droppings. And basically, I forget who even forwarded this item to me, but basically asked, should we refresh some of the kiosks? There's a cute little sign we saw at Wasserman during our LSIP walk. What does that say? I poop, you scoop, and it's got a picture of a dog or something. But I guess actually, this may have been a member of the community that sent this feedback to us, that we really should have a better posting, or every kiosk should include something. We've really not wanted to in the past put trash cans there. Because one, they collect trash that isn't just from people using the trails, and 2, there's got to be a plan to maintain it, to empty those barrels.
The only place that there's trash barrel is Wildcat. And yeah, and they took that out, and we're like, 'cause everyone wanted it. It's like, no, don't.
Yeah.
And the same with the bags. The minute you start leaving bags, then people start using the bags for everything, and the kids start taking them, thinking it's fun to hang them in the trees. And it's like it just doesn't work in a rural setting. It needs to be at a park or something. That's one thing, but
Yeah.
So would it be a good idea to recommend to give the subcommittees the okay to put up fresh signage
Yeah,
regarding?
maybe even encourage them to do so. If someone has a sign that is better than the other signs, with something we could certainly have them professionally reproduced. I don't know where that sign at was. I don't know. I don't notice these sorts of things often.
we may need to start looking at that as an overall, because even some of the trail postings and things like that are all failing.
Yeah,
The signs and the markers. So we might want to look and see if we get some, who we can talk to about making things like that, or
yeah.
signs and such.
Wildcat always needs fresh trail blazes.
Yeah.
What?
But for the kiosk, we have a variety of signs at Wildcat, and we kind of rotate them once in a while, so it always looks a little bit different, which helps. And we've found that lighthearted, asking for help signs work better than "don't do this."
Yes, be
So,
on the
like
positive
the-
side, yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. Yeah, and just in general, if there are items that the subcommittees want for these kiosks, that's certainly something we can find. We can reach out. We have a regional conservation officer with Fish and Game, we can ask him for, you know, Fish and Game has a lot of those things. Maybe the one at Wasserman probably should have one of those milfoil signs on it. Although I think the one actually down at Veterans Park at the boat ramp has one.
Yes.
But there maybe there should be one of those at Scalar too. And so do you have who even has the access to all these kiosks? Like the Wasserman one?
So Wildcat Falls, anyone with a screwdriver
Yeah,
has
they're
access.
just, yeah.
Oh, really? A lot of them have locks on them,
Sklar
right?
has a lock and I cannot remember the combination.
I know, it's been given to me a
It's
number of
usually
times.
3774.
Probably shouldn't, if that's really the case, probably should change it now.
But yeah, the subcommittees, I think
Is
the
it-
subcommittee has its own.
Is it near a gate?
The, the one at Sklar,
Oh, yeah, if there's a key in it?
there was a
combination.
combination lock when I put stuff up for the seedling sale.
Oh, you put them in Scalar?
Well, we can talk about the combos after the meeting.
Yeah. I guess that's, if we get feedback that no one has access to these, that's probably something we should, and if we'd like to, you know, as a broader initiative, mass order something to put in
It
those.
could be different at Wildcat because that's a gate that manages a town-used and maintained road for access to the river by DPW.
Kiosk maintenance. Anything else on kiosk maintenance? Ellen, you want to talk to us about the Salhegan River Trail update?
Yes, I'm happy to note that the Town Center Committee on November 3rd had groundbreaking down at Watson Park for the Salhegan River Trail, which is a long time coming. That is eventually, if plans go well, will connect to Wildcat Falls. Nelson Disco of the Town Center Committee, I think may have been the person who's been on this the longest. He said it's been a 14-year process to get this far to groundbreaking. So I'd just like to thank the members of the Town Center Committee, thank the Town Council for their support of this, and we are looking forward to eventually letting people have a trail from the Town Center all the way behind the high school along the river to Wildcat Falls.
So a question on, I'm not sure, ownership, stewardship is probably a better word, of the section from Town Center and Route 3 to the entrance, well, to the state land and then to Wildcat. Who will be responsible for those trails?
I don't know at this time, all I know is the town has it now. I don't know who's going to get it. It is not Conservation Commission land at this time, and the management may change as the course of the construction goes. I was advised by a town councilor that when the widening of Route 3 begins, Watson Park could be used as a staging area for some of the construction equipment, which might slow down the trail development. So right now, any questions about management, I would refer to the town manager's office.
Okay.
But it's not Conservation Commission property at this
Someone
point.
came through about 6 or 8 years ago and cut a very significant trail that covers most of this. And I don't know who it was, but it was very nice and it's been maintained fairly well.
Well, it's been used, I think, by
Yes.
some of the cross-country teams
Yeah, the high
perhaps have
school.
gone down.
That's
Yeah.
how
by the
Michael
river.
O'Verm got involved with Wildcat. So,
So this has been a long time coming, and I'm just knowing
Yeah.
how long it takes to develop a trail. I'm really
It's a
happy to see
breakthrough.
this.
almost as long as getting the state lands next to Wildcat Falls.
That's next.
Well, thank you, Ellen, for sharing that. Moving on to other business. Really, I just wanted to let everyone know that the bridge replacement at Horse Hill, the one that Mark Gagnon came and talked to us about, they picked up the supplies that we approved the funding for. They rebuilt that bridge. Looks fantastic. I could have swore he sent me a picture of it. I just can't find that picture, or else I would have brought it and shared it. But
So was it the same wood construction? And if I recall, it's kind of an at-grade bridge over some wetlands. It's, 6 inches up or something.
yeah, yeah. They did They did it last Saturday, right? During the same day as
The same day that they cut the new trail. So I would think the construction would be the same as what was done before because nobody had larger timbers on hand.
Yeah. You should have asked me, I had some.
The next item is update on the social media initiative. Karis, I know you have some thoughts. You want to talk to us about this?
Yes, so Andrew and I got together over video and we worked, we basically organized what we had talked about in the last meeting. And we talked about in order to figure out what we need for the website and the Facebook page, we talked about like overall objectives, like what are the objectives for the website versus Facebook, like what are our goals. And so we want the website to really be the solid hub of information and resources, and the Facebook page to be more about keeping people involved and aware of what we're doing, and also for educational purposes, which is a lot of what we had already talked about, but we sort of divided it and clarified this is what the website's for, this is what the Facebook page is for. And since then I've been working on what's called like a social media post schedule. So I've been writing series of posts in like just in a document, so that when we're ready to start using the Facebook page, we'll have, a few months worth of posts. And that's in the works. I created the Facebook page, but we're not actively using it. It just technically exists. And I added Nick LaValle, right, as an admin, but I haven't heard from him. I emailed him and then he didn't email me back at some point, but he probably will eventually. So he's that second admin, and then I'd like to at some point contact subcommittee heads for photos or posts that they can about their committees or about their properties that we can then post, or create a system with them where they send me information. I can post it on the Facebook page. You had a question?
Well, we had a couple. Sorry. We had a couple rogue Facebook pages. I know that we were looking at to bring them all in together. Someone's got some feedback on. Is Nick worked on that at all? Have you talked to Nick? Is any of that coming to fruition, or we just?
It hasn't come to fruition. I could check in again. I don't know what became the roadblock there. It was something they were pursuing.
Okay.
Does Facebook have something like a verified account? I know Google does, Twitter used to.
I think the only thing you can do is basically describe it as an official page, and then the only way to apparently deal with an unofficial page that claims they're an official page is you can report that. But if they don't claim they're an official page, then
Okay. And I would think perhaps since the website is clearly owned by us, we could put a link to the official Facebook page, and vice versa, to have the Facebook pinned posting linking to the page. Because we had talked about some things, like if you posted a comment to the Facebook page, it would just auto respond with, a link to our website or email or phone
not for
number.
comments, just for messages.
Messages,
So
yes.
people will be allowed to comment. Although if people's comments become a problem, we can create a post that reminds people this is not a forum. And here are, our social media expectations, and we'll delete, posts that are bullying, harassment, rude, inappropriate
Standard
things.
conduct. And so once we established kind of what the Facebook page is supposed to be and what the website is supposed to be, I've started working on some updates to the website. And so there are two issues before any of this actually happens, at least for the website. One, Facebook, you just type a post and there it goes. The website, you actually need to write code to do that, which I know how to do, but I have no idea who maintains our site, who our registrar is, who our host is, who on the town, it might be Nick LaValle is in charge of that, so that I could start writing. And second,
Is the Merrimack Outdoor site, is that what, is that the
Yes.
one? Okay.
and second, the more political bureaucratic issue is, at what point do we need to get approval for any paragraphs or images that go on there? Do we have any kind of formal policy on that?
The approval process, no. That was just us deciding what was
Okay.
good. This thing's,
So I'm happy to,
yeah, there was
So-
no approval process. We put things up and decided is that's the content we liked, and then we put it up.
Okay.
Because it's ours. It's not part of town.
okay,
So it was, you know, we were obviously trying to stay within the boundaries of the town guidelines, but, you know, the pictures and stuff, we made sure everyone, when you posted a picture, because you can post a picture to the website, it comes right up and says, this is going to be publicly displayed. You know, there's a little disclaimer there that says, you know,
okay.
you're putting it out there now.
I can work with that. And that also brings up a point. We talked about user input and user generated content. And one of the things that I would like to do in a very limited fashion is allow people to submit nice pictures they've taken of one of our conservation areas and maybe have like a rotating picture of the month or something.
Yeah, so it supposedly, it does that now from a gallery.
Okay,
It rotates, it's supposed to rotate through all of them.
Yes.
So
there's-
anything we put into that gallery, it'll just start.
There is legal protection that we need to put in place on the website, which it needs a, give me the terminology.
disclaimer.
Disclaimer, it needs a blank of use. You know, the
Terms of use.
terms of use. So these are legal protections for the website and for us, so that they and I think legally, I don't know if it's a legal thing that every website needs to have it.
This is for the Facebook?
No.
No.
No. So this
the
would be, for
website.
example, if we had a little item, submit your picture for consideration for picture of the month, you have to have a disclaimer or statement underneath it
Privacy
that by
policy.
submitting this
That's the word.
picture, you agree to allow the Merrimack Conservation Commission to post it freely on this website or something to that. And I'm sure some lawyer has much better wording on that than I do, but
Some of us have had to create our own websites for things and work with that.
Does our current Merrimack Outdoors doesn't have something like that?
it might buried somewhere, but I think if we try to bring it to a user generated place where there's like a click here to submit a photograph,
That's where it
then we
becomes a
would
really
need, big, bold, flashing, bright red letters or
Yeah,
something.
because that's something that hasn't been done so far, is people being able to upload directly.
Right, and someone will claim that, oh, I take pictures for a living and you owe me $500 for putting that picture up.
No, it needs to be clear that anything submitted for the site
Right.
becomes
Property of the
property
site.
of.
And there's standard boilerplate, you see it all
Yeah.
over the place whenever you look at that.
And it's true if there's a contact us form on the website, you need to include that in your privacy policy in terms of
I guess I was under the impression there's already that. If you tried to upload a picture to Merrimack Outdoors, there isn't?
I don't believe so.
I have to look in more detail at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you
Well,
can't.
Where like Gage said, it will tell you, be careful, if you put this picture up,
Okay.
you're acknowledging these sets of conditions.
There may be something on that specific
Yeah.
page.
Especially since pictures might have people in them.
Yes.
And there are privacy issues involved with that, et cetera, et cetera. The contact us page, I think at the moment we're safe because I seem to recall, I clicked on the contact us page and got a picture of the kiosk at Horse Hill Nature Preserve. The link was broken.
Oh yeah, it doesn't work. Our website's a mess.
It is.
How are we getting all these contact us now?
So there is
Possible if you click on the link for Horse Hill Nature
See,
Preserve.
I
Contact
went
us
through the
page.
contact us page.
Yes,
So I think
Maybe.
and it came to me.
it did work. But there
Maybe it
are
was the
there are
current
definitely
events
links on that.
page.
There are definitely links on our website or pages that are not what they say they are.
And The information architecture is completely broken. There's no rhyme or reason to what's where
Did
on
we
there.
stop
and-
paying the yearly fee?
For the domain?
Well, no, we had a company that we did business with that created the website for us, and we were paying them a yearly fee to just kinda-
Okay.
That sounds like a community development question.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
have
that may be. I will reach out to community development.
the name of the
about
company's
that.
on the website. It's Weatherby Creative. They did this for us.
Well,
Yeah.
and if Stephanie, Nick LaValle has nothing to do with this website.
Right.
He's
Yeah.
mentioned that. But if Stephanie's the one who currently manages it, she has to know
She
who's
would know.
doing the background work.
Yeah, I mean, it's Weatherby Creative is the company that did it.
Okay.
And they're very, very nice and helpful. Because when I was running it, I screwed things up and she fixed right away.
Okay.
But that's, I don't, there was a yearly,
Yeah.
maintenance fee that we just paid them to just make sure things were staying.
Okay.
I almost think that that's in the community
it's
development
drifted a
budget
little.
too, that it's not a Fund 51 or Fund 53 item.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
And
appreciate
the
the
look
work
is
you-
just somewhat
Stated.
stale and outdated and boring. And that can be.
It's not user friendly.
Well, I think it's good. We're looking ahead. There's going to be some improvements. I like.
So what is our next step for the Facebook page?
Facebook page, I'd like, before I start doing anything on it, I'd like time to build up some posts. Because the last thing you want is to start a Facebook page and then not post to it
Yes.
regularly. So that'll take a few weeks.
And
I usually get one evening every 2 weeks to work on it.
And I think the next step for both the Facebook page and the website is to reach out to the town legal department to find out what might be awaiting us and what we might need in terms of disclaimers in various places, in terms of what our policies need to be, the terms of use where we need to have.
That would go through the town manager's office, I believe, and they would know.
And I bet Nick can help us with that. I'll reach out to Nick and ask him for that sort of
Okay.
support.
And you can have him get in touch with Karis and me.
It's a-
Yeah, we need more than that.
It's just a little radio button. They have to check it. And it says, I give the Merrimack Conservation Commission permission to publish the photo on their website.
We think that needs to be enhanced.
Well, we need an overall website
Okay.
Yeah.
privacy policy.
And I think specifically, we need to get a lawyer involved, much as I hate even having those words come out of my mouth.
Yeah, I'm very wary of website
Yep.
legality. It's getting more and more tight, which is good for our privacy, but it does mean that we have to be careful.
Mm.
Luckily, I think we can confidently say we won't have any European users, which keeps things really simple because they have some really complicated privacy.
Privacy statements are encyclopedic.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, anything else on that? All right. The last item we have under other business, it's just kind of an update. So this Thursday we have our annual presentation to the town council, which is usually pretty quick, pretty simple. I've got it mostly completed, but I just wanted to throw this out there and see if anyone has some ideas or recollects something that I'm leaving out here. Just in a high level overview of some of the things we've accomplished since the last review, which was 1 year ago, roughly. I don't remember if it was October or November, but we've had our seedling giveaway. Obviously, we participated in Winter Carnival. We reviewed proposals to the planning board. We've reviewed a few dredge and fill requests from New Hampshire DES. What else did we do? We've started work, or we've maintained the website Merrimack Outdoors. Started work on another initiative, a social media initiative. We've attended the NHACC.
Conferences and workshops.
Conferences and workshops. Yeah. Which workshop
I spent 7 weeks at their wetlands workshop last spring.
Was that what it was called? The wetlands, NHACC Wetlands Work? That's good.
Not 7 weeks, 7 sessions.
I knew what you mean. NHAC Wetlands. Anything else there? I mean, I have some random pictures that like Mark Gagnon's given me of some of the bridge work, some of the trail maintenance.
We have welcomed new members to the commission.
We have? Yep, I do have that on another slide.
Do you have the number?
4.
No, 4, that's it? 5? Subcommittees?
Oh, the subcommittees too?
Yeah,
I don't have that number.
we could use it.
Wonder if I could get that.
Yeah, round up how many members we had for the
Yeah,
subcommittee for fire
that's a good,
entirety? Longer than that part of it, that's good.
mm-hmm.
You can speak to Gina and Cindy retiring.
Mm-hmm.
They've been both
I
long-term,
have that. And Mike?
yeah, long-term and helpful.
Yeah, I have those items on there. Anything else that we've accomplished over the last year? I'm sure
No, the maintenance, just maintenance stuff, but that's.
Yeah, that's the biggest lift, but it's hard to quantify that. Goals, I know we've heard, I think we heard from all the subcommittees about their goals for these parcels. A lot of them were common themes. I tried to capture some of them. Parcel and trail maintenance, recruitment and outreach, the NRPC map refresh. We do still have that going on. We paid that money. They're doing the work. I think one of our obstacles was in Scalar, just flushing out some of the trail names. I think we've given them that. I think we told them to just move ahead without knowing what the Fields Farm Trail names would be. We review acquisition opportunities when they present themselves to us. Fields Farm access. That's obviously one of our priorities or one of our goals for the coming year. Invasive plant mitigation. That's a carryover. I mean, we've had that the last 2 years. The student rep. Continuing to monitor. I can't read my writing there. Trail signing. And the social media initiative. Oh, continuing to monitor e-bike usage. We're hearing more and more, getting more and more feedback. In terms of this, I think that, I don't even really know how to word that on our goals for next year.
How about we are watching what's going on in Concord to see if e-bike legislation is introduced, and we'll look forward to hearing from our state representatives along those lines.
Oh, I like that.
And maybe the NHACC, so they should have a position on this too.
Isn't there currently already some legislation? Like there's certain ones that aren't allowed, right?
Oh, the town code says class 1. Now we're getting into who defines the classes. Are the more powerful e-bikes now being developed even covered under class 1, 2, and 3?
Okay.
It's an evolving area.
They're getting to the point where they're motorbikes, they're electronic motorbikes.
So
I like the way you said that. I'll word it
I
that way.
propose that we watch legislation and work closely with our state representatives as needed.
What else? Is there something? I'm sure there's something I forgot.
No, that should keep him busy.
All right. Well, if you think of something,
Before Thursday.
yeah.
And the
If you think
meeting-
of something tonight or tomorrow,
The meeting is at what time Thursday?
it is Thursday at 7.
And commissioners are welcome to,
You're welcome.
you do the talking. We'll do.
Yeah.
We'll
You've
have
been
you
there the
back.
last 2
We'll have you
years.
back.
Where
This
will
room.
this be? This room?
Yeah.
Right here.
We go after the library trustees. So we're pretty early in the agenda. All right, if you think of something, or if you have a picture Like I took I took zero, this is hard to believe, I took zero pictures of the Elsa block. I also took zero pictures of the seedling giveaway. Gina sent me some seedling giveaway
It was
pictures
raining,
today. So, but if you have a great picture of any of those, and I guarantee if I had taken pictures, they would have been of very poor quality anyhow, because that's generally the way my pictures are. So if you have something of any of those events
I have
or
a
any
few
event
of
on
the
any of
Elsa
the trail,
block, nothing exciting.
send it, you can either send it to my phone or send it to email, either one, I'll try to include those, because I think they've appreciated that in the past, some of these pictures. It's gonna be tough to outdo last year, because last year we had the Merrimack Middle School Walking Photography Group that went out and took all these amazing pictures of all of our, of our trails.
There's an
What's
opportunity
your
for-
email? S Perkins?
You can just send it to the town one if you want, Stephen.Perkins at merrimacknh.gov.
It's not S. Perkins?
Is it?
It's S. Perkins.
Okay, S. Perkins, yeah.
All right. I have a couple
That's
pictures of the
You can
Elsa
send it
block,
to
nothing
my cell
exciting.
phone too if you want, Karis. I'll get it there either
Oh,
way.
the quality will be terrible.
Sure, it's S. Perkins, isn't it?
No, just S Perkins.
Oh.
It popped up in my history of.
And you know, these
emails.
photos, while we're mentioning it, this is something, anytime there's a youth-involved project, either with school or with an individual youth, set them loose with their phone camera.
Yeah, you just gotta be careful because we're right back into the liability. Who's
Oh,
got the
right,
music.
but if they see something interesting in
Yep.
a site, it could be useful for information and possibly for website or Facebook as well.
Okay. I guess that's all we have for other business. Approval of the minutes. Anyone want to get us started?
I move that we approve the minutes of the October 9th, 2023
I
meeting of
have
the Conservation
I have a
Commission.
minor typo to correct.
This is,
Mo-
this, with the
Alright.
following
All right.
amendments.
Motion by Ellen,
Second?
second by Gage. All right, go ahead, Andrew.
So under the memorial bench placement at Wildcat Falls, first of all, it is Wildcat Falls, so WCFA.
And
Instead of-
could you get the page and the line number,
Page 5, I believe, it's the memorial bench placement.
Yes. I don't have page numbers on mine,
Oh, okay.
oddly.
You know?
please? You should have
And then it
breakdown.
was submitted and Andrew Duane. It should be submitted by.
Was the,
Ah,
you
thank
got
you.
the line number there?
It's the title for the memorial bench placement.
Oh, okay. yeah.
Hold on a
You
moment.
don't have line numbers either?
No,
How'd you put that?
Because if you
I clicked-
download it directly off of the attachment to the email with the packet, it's
Ah,
not there.
yeah.
But if you pick up the packet,
Alright.
printed, it's there. I just realized that. Okay, so what we are looking at is page 5, line
189?
189. And I have page 3, line 86, just replace a comma with a period. It's in the Aquifer Conservation District, period. If they run out of space, that's a fresh sentence. That's all I had.
Anyone else? Seeing no hands, all those in favor of approving the minutes as amended?
Wait a second.
Oh,
Sorry.
stand by.
I was there, right?
You were?
I said you,
I thought you were.
yes, you
And-
came in,
And why did someone have to sit in for me?
because at the time the meeting
I
was
late?
called to order, yeah,
I
you
was
weren't
late?
here.
Okay.
About 15 seconds, immediately
All
after.
right. No, okay. I just want to make sure we're counting correctly. So perfect. All right. Sorry. Go on.
Is it? All those in favor of approving the minutes as amended? 1, 2, 3, 4, Motion carries 6-0. I think that is everything. Someone like to make a final motion?
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Andrew, second by Gage. All those in favor? Fantastic. Well, have a wonderful night.
Thank you.